Dear student, today we are going to discuss one of the important topic of sociology, and that is the middle class phenomena. The middle classes of all the countries have been a key driver of the global economy over the past century. We know this is one of the important class of the society. During the past several decades, world economic growth has occurred mostly due to increased consumption among the middle classes of the United States, Europe and other advanced countries. This class has been considered a thriving and vibrant catalyst of economic development. It provides a strong foundation that drives productive investment and is an important factor in stimulating other social development that encourage growth and promote the expansion of elements that contribute to a healthy society. We know this middle class is one of the important class of the society. Between the two classes, this is prevailing. One is higher class and second is lower class. In between higher and lower, when we talk about a special category of a people, that is known as the middle class, and this phenomena is most important phenomena in sociology. The middle class is an important market for most goods and services. A large proportion of country tax revenue is collected directly or indirectly from this group, and they have a significant role in any relevant political stability. It means this is most important part because all political parties also dependent on this middle class. Economy is also dependent on this middle class. The importance of this class was best summed up by the late Lazar Thoreau, a renowned MIT economist. A healthy middle class is essential to a healthy political democracy. This is important for healthy political democracy, hence this is important part of society. In a society made up of rich and poor, there is no middle group either politically or economically. The middle class falls in the middle of the social hierarchy. When we talk about the social hierarchy, this is in between higher and lower, and this is a working class and below the upper class and above the lower class. Today we are going to discuss on this important topic of sociology. In this discussion, first we discuss the concept of class. What is class? And then what is middle class? What type of problems middle class are facing in this society? And last we sum up all this discussion. Now we try to elaborate what is concept of class and what is the concept of middle class. Today, as the process of development has accelerated in our country, it is also known that modernization, westernization and spread of education etc. have not only affected our economy, but have also brought many changes in social structure. Some fundamental changes have started taking place in the social structure of the Indian society. When we talk about the Indian society, all due to the modernization, westernization and globalization affected the Indian society, and many changes occurred all due to these processes of social change. As the process of social change unfolded, new social group and categories of people emerge in the society. The institutionalization of a democratic system of governance based on adult franchise after independence and the introduction of a secular constitution have changed the traditional structure of power relations at various level of social organization. When we talk about the traditional society, in traditional society there are four division of society based on birth, that is Brahmin, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudra are known as the caste system of society. But all due to the processes of social change, a new system has emerged. One of the major changes that economic development and the system of democratic governance have brought about in the society over the years has been the change in the structure of social stratification in India. In the traditional structure of India, there was a division of society on the basis of caste. Caste is a predominant characteristic of Indian society. On the basis of caste, we divide the whole society into different 4 categories, which had Brahmins, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudra. These are known as 4 Varna system, who placed Brahmins at the top and Shudras at the lowest position. Similarly, in the village also, the earlier system of domination and subordination, which was largely based on the principles of caste hierarchy and ownership of agriculture land, has given way to a different type of power structure. Still, in village community, caste is most important part of society and has a power in the village community. However, caste and ownership of agriculture land remain important, especially in rural areas. They are not the exclusive determinants of social stratification in India even today. Over the last nearly 5 decades, a new set of power elite has emerged in India. Similarly, many more social categories have evolved, which can be seen by observation. We need a different set of conceptual categories to understand the nature of the power structure and the new system of social stratification caused by this changing structure. When we talk about the power structure, in traditional society, Jamidar, that is landowner, was termed as super in agriculture society, and when we talk about the rural and urban community, caste is a predominant part of society and in which the higher caste has a power, that is known as the power structure of the society. Some sociologists who have worked on this topic have suggested that since caste is being transformed into class, all due to many causes, that is spread of education, mass media, mass communication, westernization, modernization, secularization, etc., has changed the caste into class. That is why we need to think afresh. Although some scholars have argued that the old system of stratification has changed, yet caste still plays a decisive role in matter of status differences in Indian society. Caste is the main feature of the Indian society. Many scholars have defined caste in different ways. According to McIver and Page in his book Society, when he defined caste, when condition was completely predetermined so that men are born without any hope of changing their fate, class takes the extreme form of race. This is known as the caste that is based on birth. Similarly, C.H. Cooley said that when a class is to some extent hereditary, we may call it as a caste. Caste is totally based on the hereditary characters. D.N. Mazumdar and Madan have said that caste is a closed class. Why he said this caste is a closed class? Because we can't change our caste. The caste system is highly complex in nature. Due to many factors, caste is now changing into class. So, we first define what is class. Concept of social class and middle class. When we talk about the class, what do you mean by class? What do you mean by middle class? Social class is the main type of social stratification found especially in modern civilized countries. Caste is prevailing in traditional society. If we caste system is found in the unique to India, then class system is universal in nature. The concept of social classes is more used in sociology, representing a kind of social stratification than anything else. According to Gisbert, a social class is a category or group of persons having a definite status in society that permanently determines their relation to other groups. A similar type of work, a group of people who have similar type of work is known as a class. For example, if we talk about the teacher, teacher has a equal status in all the part of the society. This is a class. Similarly, a labor has a equal position in whole society. From the above definition, when we talk about the caste and class, it is clear that social class is a segment of society in which all members of all ages and sexes share the same general status. As McIver states, a social class exists whenever social interaction is limited by the notion of social status by distinction between high and low. When we talk about the social class, Marx discussed about the class, and he discussed only two classes, that is higher and lower. There has been a long tradition of viewing Western society through the conceptual framework of class. The classical sociological thinkers like Karl Marx and Max Weber wrote extensively on the concept of class. Class was the most important category for Marx in his analysis of Western society and in his theory of social change. When he talks about the social change, conflict theory, dialectical materialism, historical materialism, he discussed about the caste, and he discussed that two classes are there in every society. One is higher class and second is lower class. Marx's model of class is a dichotomous, two polar system. According to Marx, from the beginning till today, there have always been two classes in the society, one upper class and the other is lower class. The upper class always exploits the lower class. There was no class in the primitive society, but as the population increased, two classes were formed in the society. First, on the basis of power, those who have power, physical stamina, are termed as higher, and those who have less power or stamina, they termed as lower. That society was known as slavery society, in which two classes were there, one is slave, another is lord. Then the landowners and the landless peasant regarding the ownership of the land. After changing in the slavery society, the next society has emerged known as feudal society. In feudal society, two classes were there. One is a group of people, those who are the owner of a land known as landlords, and those who have no land are known as landless laborers. Then two classes were formed in the society regarding the ownership of the means of production. One of the owner of the means of production called the bourgeois, and the other of laborers producing the means of production with their labor. Marx discussed about the class system. Then he discussed that two classes were there in every society, that may be slavery society or feudal society or in capital society. There was no class in the primitive society, and that society was known as the primitive communism. But as the population increased, two classes were formed in the society. First, on the basis of power, that is slave, and owner, that is lords. Those who have physical stamina or stout, they are known as the lord, and those who are weak, physically weak, known as the slave. Then the landlords and the landless peasant regarding the ownership of land has classified two classes in the society. One is feudal lot, that is landlords, and second is landless, that is peasant. But in the society, when means of production has been developed, two classes were developed. One is capitalist and second is laborers class. This means the production called the bourgeois, that is the owner of the means of production, are known as the bourgeois, and the other laborers producing the means of production with their labor. In the Marxist framework, classes are thus defined in terms of the relationship of groups of individuals to the means of production. That is, the relationship is based on the means of production. Those who are the lord of the owner of the means of the production are known as the bourgeois, and those who work on means of production are known as proletariat, that is laborers class. Furthermore, in Marx's model, economic dominance is tied to political dominance. Political control is achieved by controlling the means of production. Those who are the owner of the means of the production are politically sound. In this dichotomous model of class structure, the position of the middle class is only transitional. He never discussed about the middle class phenomena. For Marx, the middle class was the self-employed peasantry and the petty bourgeois. They were described as such because they remained owners of the means of production with which they worked without wage labor. Marx predicted that these middle classes were bound to disappear as the capitalist mode of production developed. In the Marxist framework of class relations, only two major classes, the proletariat or working class and the bourgeois or capital class, were important. Marx discussed only about the two classes, one is capitalist and second is laborers class. One is known as bourgeois, they are the owner of the means of the production, and second are the proletariat, they are the laborers, they worked on the means of production. Similarly, Max Weber says that Marx considers economy as the basis of the division of classes, because Marx always discussed the classes on the basis of the economy. His concept is quite different from that of Marx. In contrast to Marx, he argues that classes develop only in market economy in which individuals compete to economic gain. He defines classes as a group of people who share the same status in a market economy and receive equal economic rewards by virtue of that fact. Thus, a person's class status in Weber's terminology in his market position, or in other words his purchasing power. Those who have more purchasing power are termed as higher, and those who have less purchasing power are termed as the lower. A person's class status also determines his necessities of life. Their economic status or class status determines how much they can afford to buy things considered desirable in their society. Later, sociologists have presented idea on the concept of middle class by making Weberian ideology the basis in their discussion and studies. Middle class is a term that most of us can easily relate to. It is a term used to refer to the common man of India. They are also known as the common man or layman. Although there are many definitions and description of the term, we can simply say that on the salary versus population graph, the middle class is the people who live in the middle of the curve. Hence, Rosling in his book Factfulness states the world's population or countries can no longer be divided into two groups of low income and high income, because Marx and Weber discussed about the two classes, one is higher and second is lower. There are actually four income groups, L1, L2, L3 and L4, in which there are 5 billions. 3 billions population on L2 and L3 combines and 1 billion on L1 and L4 each. Basically a bell curve. Everyone wants to move from level 1 to level 2 and up through the level from there. Only it is very strange computer game, because level 1 is the most difficult. Even then they are trying. Today the middle class is not just an urban concept. Whenever we talk about the middle class, we directly relate the middle class with the urban community only, but this is not true. Rural community also have a significant middle class population. It represents a large and diverse consumer segment. People associated with business, industry are dependent on this middle class of their future. The government dependent on this middle class and aims for a $5 trillion economy. Politicians dependent on this middle class to make claims and promises while seeking votes. The media creates and curates content for this middle class. According to two economists from the University of Mumbai, 50% of India's population now belong to the middle class, including the carpenter who comes to our house. He has divided the middle class into lower middle class and upper middle class. There are four categories of the total society. One is higher, second is higher middle, third is middle, and fourth is lower. B.B. Misra, in his book The Indian Middle Classes, that book is published in 1961, took the lead in fighting the study of middle classes in India, who concluded on the basis of his study that India did not lack institutions conducive to capitalist development before the British rule. Pre-British India saw an Indian artisan industry as well as commercial specialization, and additionally a distinct class of merchant. Guild power remained purely money power, unsupported by any authority of a political or military nature. British rule resulted in the emergence of a class of middlemen who acted as a link between the people and the new rulers. In Misra's views, there was a fundamental change in social relations and class structure in India. The emerging class of intermediaries was the middle class, which grew in power and prosperity with the progress of foreign rule. The establishment of trade relations after the rule of British East India Company laid the groundwork of the creation of this class. That is, this class is emerged during British period. Furthermore, as a part of their educational policy, the British attempted to create comparable classes of their own to assist the farmers in the administration of the country. The original intention of the British was to develop a class of imitators and not promoters of new values and methods. Pawan K. Verma states, based on his study of the middle class, that the members of the educated class, such as government servant, lawyers, college teachers and doctors, constituted the bulk of the Indian middle class. In Verma's opinion, this middle class was largely dominated by the traditional upper caste. Sanjay Joshi, in his study of the formation of the middle class in colonial India, attempts to explain why traditional sociological indicators of income and occupation do not take us very far in understanding the category of the middle class. Although the economic background of the middle class was important, the power and constitution of middle class in India was based not on the economic power, which was minimal, but on the ability of its member to be cultural entrepreneurs. Mostly when we discuss about the middle class, we directly relate the middle class with the economy. This is not true. Being middle class was primarily a project of self-fashioning. Joshi explained that the definition and power of middle class, modern ways of life, disparity from the spread of middle class was an attribute of the middle class. The rapid expansion of a new middle class in India during the last decade of the 20th century and its growing influence in many parts of the public sector is one of the most significant changes in India's contemporary history. This is most important part of the society and influence all these sections of the society. Andre Bataille writes that the middle class is not only very large but also highly differentiated internally to such an extent that it may be more appropriate to speak on the middle class in India than the middle class, emphasizes the heterogeneous nature of its social structure. This middle class is most important category or strata of the society. When we divide the society into different strata, the middle one is middle class. Now, in contemporary society, they are facing so many problems. Before understanding the problems of Indian middle class, first we explain who are middle class. A middle class is a social group consisting of ordinary people who usually have good jobs and are neither very rich nor very poor. Such middle class also has its own problem. Some of them are as follows. They are facing so many problems, and we have discussed only few problems which they are facing. First is monetary problems. This is one of the most important and most common problems that a middle class person has to deal with. With a declining economy and ever increasing prices of everything from groceries to petrol, how could anyone expect anything different? With a meager salary that can barely even cover the electricity bill and taxes, the middle class man faces hurdles at every step of the way, as he has neither money to spare nor to save. There is no money and there is no money to buy anything. Interest rates on loan are second problem they are facing is quality education. Getting education is a very expensive affair. All parents think about a good education for their children, but perhaps the middle class man cannot even think of this. Most of the kids who go to prestigious colleges and universities think that famous private schools, tuition, coaching classes, etc. are all necessary. In dire circumstances, parents have to sell assets like jewelry to fund their children's education. Health and medical problems. Most middle class people do not have medical insurance. Not every doctor is kind. Not every clinic waives the fees. What happens when there is an unfortunate accident, or if someone has a medical condition and the cost of treatment is beyond their means? What happens is they don't go to the best hospital and clinics. They don't get the best treatment and operations, and they are not in the best hands. Keeping pace with technology. The pressure of coping with the latest technology is also a new issue faced by a middle class family. People in jobs should have smartphones and laptops, as it's become a part of their work. Also, parents who manage to send their children to a good school face difficulties such as e-learning, which requires a tablet or smartphones. There is always tension in his mind. This is the most important problem every middle class person is facing. All the above mentioned problems bother not only the elder of the family but also the children. The expectation of working hard and earning more always bother the adults, whereas the expectation of socialization and the pressure to fulfill the dreams of their parents bother the children of a middle class family. Our ambitions are our goals, what and where we want to be someday. A middle class person cannot do this, because if he does, there will be a lot of disappointments, heartbreaks and bruised ego, and his practical life and hardship will bring him down to earth again. Now we can summarize our discussion that today the middle class is not just an urban concept, there is also a significant middle class population in rural community. It represents a large and diverse consumer segment. Although the middle classes have always been among the most influential segments of modern society, they were never as prominent and visible as they became after the liberalization process of the Indian economy began during the 1990s. The introduction of the new economic policy and the increasing globalization of the Indian economy brought the Indian middle class to new prominence. The process of globalization has generated much debates about the actual size of the middle class in India, the pattern of their composition and the pace of their growth in the coming years. It has been claimed that the size of the middle class has grown to 20% of the total Indian population. Some others put the figure at 30%, although a large number of Indians still live in poverty. It is the middle class that dominates cultural and political life today. So, in contemporary society, the middle class is facing many problems like economic problem, health problem, educational problem, etc. This is most important category of society. which is prominent in all the spheres of all works of life, but even then they are facing so many problems known as the problems of middle class.